the Shanti mantra, particularly for this Kena Upanishad. Om Apyayantu Mamangani Vak Prana Chakshu Shotramatho Balam Indriyani cha Sarvani Sarvam Brahmo Upanishadam Maham Brahma Nirakuryat Mama Brahma Nirakarod Anirakaranam Astu Anirakaranam Mestu Tadatmani Nirateya Upanishatsu Dharmaste Mai Santu Te Mai Santu Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om, may the different parts of my body, my tongue, my prana, my eyes, my ears, and my strength, and also all the other sense organs be nourished. So this is a prayer so that physically I am all right. Why? Because ashishta, dhrishta, balishta. When we are going to think, when we are going to achieve the highest achievement of the human life, that is the Brahma Jnana, the knowledge of the Brahman, we need a strong body. Because of the thought that will pass, that will jerk, because the body will also have to be strong, otherwise it is impossible. So first prayer is this. Then it says, all indeed is Brahman. Everything that I see is Brahman, as is declared in the Upanishad. May I never deny Brahman. It says, Brahma, Maham Brahma Nira Akarot. I am not denying the God. I am not denying the Brahman. So, our faith is in God. That is the way they say. A faith in God. So that way, I am always believing that everything that I see is nothing but that Brahman. But this moment it may be that, I am not understanding it. But I am accepting it and believing it and trying to understand it. So it says, may I never deny Brahman, may Brahman never deny me. It's not only that I am doing, at the same time that Supreme Consciousness also should accept me. May there never be denial on the part of Brahman, may there never be denial on my part. May all the virtues described in the Upanishad belong to me, who am devoted to Brahman. To reach to that subtle state, to understand that Brahman, that conception is not God, it is Brahman. The conception of God is totally different. Conception of Brahman is totally different. When you talk about the Vedanta, Veda Anta, the end part of knowledge, this is called the knowledge of the Brahman. Now you just think everything is nothing but that Brahman. There will be so much of misconception again, misunderstanding, and of course the wrongdoing. Why? Because I will be thinking, oh, if this is Brahman, how can I take it? How can I do this? How can I do that? So all these different type of thoughts may come, and you have to go through that. Shankaracharya, he lived, and for living, he was requiring all those things that we are requiring now: the food, the shelter, the clothing, and company of people, everything. So obviously, when I see that everything is Brahman, now when I see that everything is Brahman, what will happen? When a thief is entering into my house, what I will do? Oh, the Brahman has come. What shall I do? That our Swamiji told, that our Toronto Swami, that question was asked, if everything is Brahman, when a burglar is coming, then what should I do? Call 911. That is the way. That is the way we worship the thief. That is, it's also, of course, we know that it is also the Brahman, but this way also we have to understand. So this is the subtlest knowledge we are going to discuss. And like the Ishopanishad, in the other class, in the previous class we discussed, like the Ishopanishad, this Kena Upanishad also derives its name from the first, the mantra that is called Kena. Kena means who. The Kena, the who is doing all these things. From that first Kena Sita Prashitam Manaha. So this first Kena is giving the name of the whole Upanishad, Kena Upanishad. Who? On that the discussion will be. Adi Shankaracharya has written 2 commentaries on this. The Upanishad, this Kena Upanishad is having 4 parts and belong to Samaveda. Then the first two we will read today. First 2 parts are in dialogue form, explaining how one can arrive at the Atman or Brahman. So through the dialogue, the student and the teacher, disciple and the master, they will be the disciple asking question, the teacher giving the answer. So that way it will go. Third part, explaining the same thing, same idea in an allegorical way. And in the 4th part, meditation on Brahman has been instructed. Now, as a subject matter, the knowledge of Brahman is extremely subtle. That is our subject matter, the Brahman. So naturally, our mind should be ready to understand it, otherwise you won't be able to understand anything of it. So this is a very, very subtle thing, and very peculiar way they will be explaining, they will be describing, they will be presenting about Brahman. Why? Because we cannot explain Brahman. We cannot say anything about Brahman. It is beyond time, space and causation. How can you explain it? So if it is beyond time, space and causation, how can you explain it? So this way it says, this knowledge of the Supreme Brahman cannot be achieved by karma. The karma means action. Of course, when the Shankaracharya says about karma, that means all the homa, yaga, yajna, all these things. That was the karma. So karma kandis and jnana kandis. Ancient time, the people naturally, whenever the people means always, they will have different type of thoughts. You will find that some people who are not having that intellect, high intellect, they always live together because they need their own support from each another, because they have to survive. For that they need to always live together. Intellectual people always alone. They like to live alone. Why? Because they are thinking are different. They always differ with, no, no, I don't think it is this, I think this is this, so differ, come on. So that way always they are lonely because they are thinking people constantly, they go on arguing and it may not go along with others. I was listening to the Prime Minister, Indian Prime Minister Modi's talk in this, in America, the joint conference that was there, and he was telling, now we are too big democratic country, and you know, we have experienced, you have also experienced all the time objections. That is called democracy. The moment you say, can we do this, some people will stand up and say, no. So they were all, because this is the democracy, always there will be oppositions. And here also oppositions are there. And at the same time, your mind will oppose you. Your own mind will oppose you. So that is the difficulty. Why? One thing, please remember, karma, through action. And when action is depending upon the will of the doer, I am doing something. So this is my action. And then I am asking, thinking the result should come. It may or may not. So one example, the one monk went into a solitude for 6 months. He was going on meditating and taking the name of God. As we always think, the meditation, japa, so naturally the God will reveal. But 6 months, I think more than that. Then he got a little bit frustrated and he wrote back to Ma Sharadamani Devi, Mother, I am doing this meditation and japa regularly, but I don't see Thakur. Thakur means Sri Ramakrishna, the God that we concentrate on. The mother told, do you think just because you are sitting over there, closing your eyes and taking the name of God, the Sri Ramakrishna will come? You go on doing what you are doing. Whether God will come or not, that is not your business. So through karma, we cannot realize Brahman. As because I am pouring so many tons of ghee in the fire and then asking Brahman to reveal, no. The karma, through karma, you cannot get any revelation of the Brahman. That is the first thing they say. You can get many other things, but not the Brahman. And when, now how we get knowledge? That is the question. How we get knowledge? Our sense organs goes out and they go and collect some information from the sense objects. Now the Hindus are very subtle, all the time they go deep. How many objects are there? Millions? Millions? Million, trillion? No, only 5. Though we see so many varieties, but the Hindus are intelligent enough to shortlist it. They say only 5 objects are there. So that objects we are enjoying. How? By sending our sense organs. What are the sense organs? Eyes. It goes and enjoy all those. Now I saw that in the day I was going, I saw that advertisement, the parade, our local Homer Glen, they will have a parade on 4th of July. I told, so I will go to see. I am going over there, and then how I will enjoy that parade? I will see that people with different dresses, they are going, and then the music and the drum, I will hear, there will be different smells, all those things, first the eye and the ear, that is going to enjoy. Then when I am returning back, maybe I will enter into a restaurant, and because the 4th of July you are free, let us go and take something. So we go and we eat. Now it's not the eye, it's not the ear, it's the tongue. It is enjoying. Similarly, 5 senses are there, we are sending them out, We are collecting information and enjoying. Suppose a blind man, deaf and dumb, and blind also, if he goes to seize that parrot, how he is going to enjoy that? Not like me, not like the other people. They may enjoy in different way, because that particular person cannot use the eyes, cannot use the ear. He won't be able to enjoy in the fashion that we do. So it is not that the object is giving me the joy. It is my senses giving me the joy. Now another question. Is it true that senses are giving me the joy? What is your answer? I am seeing something. Do I enjoy because it's a beautiful thing? Because my eyes are there, object is there, I am sending my eye and then seeing the information is coming back. Is it complete? No. Why? The mind is absent. So that is the reason many people, they like to observe the play in the TV, because you can go back and see what is happening over here again. But suppose you are there in the field, whatever has done and done, someone was going to net the ball, that particular moment I missed, then when everybody shouted and then I looked and oh, everything has, I cannot repeat that, I have to observe it again in the TV if they are showing it. So even though my eyes are there, if my mind is absent, I cannot, right? The step by step we have to think. So we think, oh, we are living. No, this is the step by step. If we go, then finally I am sending my senses, eyes, and then sense from the sense objects, information coming. Mind is also there, but something else is not there. Mind is there, senses are there, sense objects are there, but still I cannot enjoy. Why? Mind was there, because I am dead. Even if the mind is there, mind cannot do anything. All the senses are there, they also cannot work. That means beyond the mind there is something very, very special, very powerful, and on the basis of which everything is happening. So that we have to remember, and that is Brahman, about which we are not aware at all. We are very much satisfied up to the mind. Our psychologists and all, they go up to the mind and they are very, very satisfied. And sometimes our mind is happy, sometimes mind is not happy. The moment the changes are there, that means it is not permanent. Mind cannot be permanent. So friends, this way we are inquiring, analyzing, testing, and going towards the Brahman. The sense organs cannot bring that. And even if the sense organs are perfect, mind is perfect, they are also the Brahman. We cannot have that knowledge of Brahman because it is not an object. If this is not an object, we cannot see. There are many, many bacteria all over here. We don't know them. The moment you bring a special type of machine and if you see, oh my God, it's full of all this. Because this present, we cannot, the eyes and other things we cannot see. But if we increase many, many fold, then we can see. And similarly, the Brahman, even the object is necessary to reach over there. Brahman is not an object. So how we will know? Furthermore, the knowledge of Brahman depends entirely upon the reality of Brahman itself and not upon the will of the knower. So I want to know you, come and reveal. Brahman says, no, I don't bother. Whether you want to know or not, I don't know. I don't bother. So if the Brahman itself is telling that, then only it is possible. Eternal and non-dual. The Brahman is eternal and non-dual. So that is ultimate goal of all the Hindus. Sometimes most of the people, they talk about the Hindus, oh, they have so many gods and goddesses. And Hindus are also very happy. I have my own God. So and it looks better than your God, and they will fight. But this God and all these things that we see is nothing if there is not Brahman is there. That conception. So all Hindus, they go to that, but step by step. I cannot ask a school going boy to understand different type of technical things. But I expect the same thing from a university student. He was supposed to know about it. Why? The step by step. That's why Swami Vivekananda said in a beautiful way, we never travel from false to truth. We travel from lower truth to higher truth. This is very, very unique. And that gives us solace. That gives us encouragement. If there is false, means there is nothing, totally wrong. From there, how can I go to the truth? Something is there, the lower truth. Then it goes to the higher truth. Today, one little, very small boy came. I asked him, what is your name? First he said, I told you before. Is it? But see, I'm an old man, I forget. So tell me again. Then he said, my name is Alexander, but my friends, they don't say Alex. So the small name, Alex or something there, they say. I say, Alexander? Oh, that is great. You know the Alexander? No. Then he knows something about the history. He was telling if this the Ottoman War. Oh, no, not the Ottoman War. Before the Christ, before the birth of you, and also not only you, Christ. Before the Christ was born, this great man was there. He was going, conquering one after another kingdom. He used to sit on the horse and constantly conquering. And then suddenly he was enacting that. He got the identification of the name, and he himself was doing like this. Imagining that he is also a great emperor, a great warrior, along the name. So this, when we have an object before us, we can conceive. This little boy do not have any idea about the Alexander the Great. But when I was describing about the Alexander, though he has not seen the picture of Alexander, though he has not read about Alexander, but he was imagining just because I was telling in that way, I am that. So that is the same way our spiritual teachers, they say, thou art that. When they come and they say, thou art that, don't think yourself so humble, so tiny, so weak. No, you are Brahman yourself. The moment they say, some feeling comes, Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham. I am that Lord Shiva, the all God that comes to me. I am that all powerful. I am omnipotent, omniscient. So that is, I don't know. What is this Brahman? Just like in the morning when I was talking with the boy, immediately I was thinking, there's the same way our teachers, they are coming and telling, you are not ordinary, you are a great human being. You have the mind, you have the thinking capacity, you have the discriminative capacity, you can do it. Only thing that you have to renounce all that you see in the world, constantly changing. Renounce that. And then achieve that great condition of the Brahman and live heartily with joyful way. So it says, and then this person comes, it begins with this question. Kenishitam patati prashitam manaha. Who is handling my mind. It is my mind, but it is not under my control. Suppose you have a dog, but some neighbor giving the whistle, the dog jumping over there and playing, "Arey, this is my dog, I am feeding, taking care," but the fellow going over there. So naturally, how you will feel? This is not good. So naturally, our mind, my mind, I want to be happy today, but something happened, I cannot get the joy within me. Someone comes, I was in a great mood with my friend, someone approaches, oh my God, he has come. So again, I cannot control my mind, why this person should have to come at this time. And who is suffering? Not the body. Who is suffering? Not that person. Who is suffering? Me. Why? Because I am thinking that person should have not come now. I am not liking. So mind is not my control. Mind is controlling me. Mind is not in my control. Who can understand? Just sit quietly and close your eyes. Try to hold your mind. 3 minutes. If you can do that, a full packet of candy for you. 3 minutes. No. So difficult to do that. Why? Because it never listens to me. It listens with somebody else. So naturally it is not our problem. It is the problem of the most ancient time, when a student is approaching to the teacher and telling, "Can you please tell me who is dealing with my mind?" Kini sitam patati prashitam manaha. It's sending out. I am trying to control, but it's somebody for. And same way, kena prana pratama praiti yukta. Kini sitam vacham imam badanti chakshu shotram kayudeva yunakti. Sometimes we say something and then we say, "Oh, why we have said that?" Some comment, something we do, and then we say, "Oh, sorry, why we have done that?" So it is not our control. And we don't like to listen, but those words is certainly coming to me, which I don't like to listen. And I don't like to see, but eyes will go over there, certainly. So that way, constantly, it is going on. Who is it? Then the answer the teacher is giving in a very unique way. It says, Srotasya sotram, manaso manoyat, vachoha vacham, sayu pranasya pranaha. Here the prana means our breathing. So that pranasya pranaha. Chakshuscha chakshu atimuccha dhira pretya asman lokan amrita vabanti. It is a long Sanskrit, but it's a wonderful. If you try to read it and understand, beautiful. So it says in this way is a more better than the songs, much more. So if you can a little understand this, a beautiful way, hundreds and thousands of years the people and great minds, they are studying it, enjoying and concentrating on the meaning of it. And what is this? The real power behind the sense organs is the power of the self, as we were discussing. The real power. So if you think that eyes is seeing, no. Behind it there is another eye. They are explaining in a different way. You know that behind the eye, another eye is there. Behind the ear, another ear is there. Behind the nose, another nose is there. And very special way the answer. He is not telling in one sentence, behind all these things, Atman is there. If the Atman is not active, nothing can be. So the control should be on the senses. How? Then comes yoga. Here it is not end of it. The meditation, the 4th chapter of the Upanishad will explain how to control. But just for our reminder, we can remember that that book we have already completed, the Yoga Darshan of Patanjali. And that Patanjali Yoga Darshan, it says, you have to cut up the supply line. I always use this word. Why? Because it is a great fight between my lower self and upper self. The lower self wants to drag me down and upper self wants to take me up. And lower self says, come with me and you will get the joy. I go with that. Then I find I am in a great soup. I am in a great difficulty. And we can remember when you were in schools, some friends will always be there and they will come and whisper, hey, have you ever smoked? Smoking? No, I have seen my elderly people are doing. Do you like to smoke that? I have a cigarette. Then I found the half of it, not the full cigarette, from where he has bought it. Then all the tin, they are going on puffing a little, and then we are all great joy. We have become grown up and we are smoking. Ultimately, I am not smoking. The cigarette is smoking me. I cannot stop. Then I cry. Similar with the other things. Young people, they ruin because one step mistake. One mistake they do and immediately the mind goes down, down, down and down. It's very difficult to control. It's so hard and so pathetic, so painful. So we must be careful, very, very careful when we are very young. So that is the reason our parents, they always watch us. So when our friends, the young people, they don't watch that their own son or daughter. They see their friend circle. Because they understand if the friends are good, it's good. If the friends are not good, then I have to be careful about my child. So that way it always goes. Sotrasya sotram. Similarly, it says over here, be careful. You have to cut the supply line. Who is fighting? My eyes, my ears and nose and all that. Then why don't you close it? What it is going and eating? Those who are diabetic, usually their family member, do not keep sweets near them. Always no sweets nearby. So obviously, the supply line is cut. Then they will force them to do little exercise. So one thing positive, another is negative. So that way, when you are cutting the supply line, my eyes cannot go to bad things, which will agitate me. I cannot listen anything that will agitate me. So my mind is becoming calm and quiet, slowly, slowly, and that is the reason everywhere you will find either the Vedanta society or the temple or the churches or the mosque or the synagogues. What is this for? So the people, they give money and then they construct this. It's not the government, it's the people themselves contributing. Why? So we should go and we should listen to the person who is dedicated only for that particular purpose, and then we will get encouragement and guidances. So that is the reason Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said, first and foremost, sadhu sangha. You must have to have the good company. So here it says, good company is this Upanishad. The great rishis are telling, please, you must have to understand this, and you must be on that particular knowledge that everything is this Atman. What type of discrimination they do? The discrimination, it goes in this way. Brahman is underlying this world. Because of Brahman is behind the world, everything appears the real. So that way we have to understand. Now it goes on telling from 5 to 9 verses in the first chapter, one after another. That is the speciality of the Upanishads. If you read the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, the full 2 pages will be the same word going on, repeating in a different way. It says, Yad Vacha Anubhuditam Ena Bhag Abhudayate Tadiba Brahma Tad Viddhi. The great statement. It says, you must know that is Brahman. That is Brahman. Which is that Brahman? It says, Yad Vacha Anubhuditam. The tongue, the words, it cannot express. Rather, with the power of that Brahman, the tongue and the language is coming out with that power of that. Yad bacha anubhuditam ina bhag ubbhudayati tadiva brahmatam viddhi nidam yadidam upasate. What you are thinking, what you are worshipping, it is not Brahman. Behind it, that is the Brahman. Behind that is the Brahman. We go to the temple very near to us is the Lemont Hindu temple. At the main deity is the Sri Ramachandra, and Durga, Kali, all gods are there, goddesses are there. And when you go, what do we see? When you go, we see only an image. In that image, there's nothing. Maybe a stone image, and he is holding a bow and arrow. A person is there, and they decorate in such a way we cannot see properly what actually it looks. But anyway, some conception. Then what? Just we go, we think, oh, God is there, we are worshipping, and then we are all good. The God will protect us. Your knowledge will protect you. So that's why it says, that not that you are worshipping, it is not. But behind that, what is that knowledge? What is that knowledge? Truth. Satya is the quality of Sri Ramachandra. Equal, same-sightedness, quality of Sri Ramachandra. Fearlessness, and always ready to obey for that which is truthful. For that he will go, always ready. So that is the Sri Ramachandra, not that only the image, but these qualities. If you can understand these, if you imbibe those qualities, you are now transforming. Again it will say in the next sloka, yan manasana manute inahu manomatam tadeva brahmatam viddhi. That mind cannot think, but with the power of that mind is thinking. That is called Brahman. Yat chakshushana pashyati yena chakshumshi pashyati. See that wonderful way again and again. First it says bacha, the buck, the when you speak, that organ, then the mind, then the eye. I cannot see that, but with the power of that only eye sees. Yat sutra na srinoti, even the ear cannot listen. With the power of that, it only listen. And then yat pranena na praniti ena prana praniyate. The same way it goes, and then the first chapter is closed. You cannot think in that way. Then it is coming a very wonderful way. It says, yadi manyase suvedeti drabbame vapi. If you think I have understood Brahman, as because all the hints are there, so you are thinking, oh yes, I think I can understand Brahman. Yes, it is within me. Yes, it is within outside. Yes, all these things that I see, even the gods, that's all Brahman. If you think I have come to know about the Brahman, you have known very little. Drabbame vapi means you have understood very little. Yadi manyase, if you think, yadi, if, manyase, think, drabbame vapi, I have understood it. Subedeti, Veda, Veda means knowledge. Subedeti, I have understood it clearly. Su means clearly. Veda, the knowledge, I have understood it clearly. Drabbame vapi, very little you have understood. You haven't understood anything. Only you are thinking about it. So sometimes some people they come, I am not criticizing, that's good, but they come with great, Swamiji, I am a student of Vedanta, very advanced student. So I was thinking, is this an university that you are advancing in that way? This is a realization. We talk about Brahman, we have read about Brahman, very advanced stage. Can you give me some other knowledge? No, I am just beginning. You are first more advanced. I am beginning only and not even started. So you can better give me some knowledge. So for them, this sloka, it says, Yadi manyase, if you are thinking, you have understood, very little, nothing actually. Nunam tam vetta brahmano rupam. The brahmana rupam, the name and form that we understand, and actually the rupa, that form of Brahman, you have not understood. So you have to go and again try. So the students say, yes. So this is the speciality of the student. When the fellow, he has done for a long time and he meditated, he came out to the teacher and said, sir, I think I have understood. Is it? You have not understood anything. Go. But he is not leaving that idea. Again he says, okay, I will try again. He goes back and then again says, that is called Paurush. And Swami Vivekananda again and again is telling that self-confidence, unless and until you are having the self-confidence, you cannot do anything. I will do this in this life itself. So those who have read the life of Lord Buddha, he was also in that condition, almost breaking down. Then he promised to himself, I am going to realize God, realize that knowledge here and now. And so know that I am, oh, is it? Then it is not possible, so leave it. No, not like that. Swami Vivekananda and his all brothers, when the Sri Ramakrishna passed away, there was no guide. That 24 years young man, Narendranath, he was guiding his friends. Then sometimes some people will come and say, why you are wasting your time as a monk sitting over here, closing your eyes, taking the name of God, what you are going to achieve? Come out, we will give you the good jobs, you will earn money, you can enjoy the life. And some people, they were telling, see, we are really trying, but nothing, not a blink of light is there in my meditation. And last so many years I am trying, I am losing faith, Naren. What I will do? This is Naren, very, very special. And that's why Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna told, you are the leader. You have to lead them. Just like a leader, he said, do you think just because we have not got the Rama, we will go for Shyama? Never. Once we have taken the decision that we are going for Rama, we will strive to the last breath of our life. Before the death we will say, we have tried as best as possible, but I have not realized that is my bad luck. So that the student also, when he heard, whatever you have learned is nothing. And to know about Brahman completely, impossible. Again, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is giving an example. There was a great sage, the highest of all, among all the monks, Shukadeva. His name was Shukadeva. He was the son of Vyasa. Vyasa, who actually made the composition of the, we can say composition of the Veda. This Shukadeva was very pure. Sri Ramakrishna is telling, he understood only a little about the Brahman, and to elaborate that, he is giving an example as if he went to the shore of the sea of Brahman and took a little water in his palm. That much knowledge. You cannot conclude. To some people they say God is like this. Wrong. The moment you limit the God, that very moment God cannot exist. We cannot limit. You can say, I have understood it up to this. This person, this student, he goes back, again he sits, again he meditates, and he comes back and says to the teacher, sir, within an answer totally, when he is talking to the teacher, now totally different. He says, Naham manne suvedeti. I do not think I have understood. Nona vediti vedacha. Also I can say, I have not understood. That is also not true. I cannot say that I have understood. And at the same time, I have not understood, that is also not true. That is the condition. Yo nastad Veda tad Veda. If anyone can understand the statement that I am making now, the real meaning of the statement, then he has understood the true meaning of the Brahman. Naham manne subedeti. I do not think that I know it. It means the Brahman. Neither is it that I do not know, nor can I say I know. So, Brahman is not an object. So, like a book or a piece of a jar or all this, the Brahman is not an object. When you see an object, Brahman cannot be like that. Why? This is within ourselves. How can you look at it as an object? But it's not. So yesterday when we were discussing that's why our rishis, they have given the conception of God. Of other objects in this world. Oh, I have to make a building over there, my roof is damaged, I have to call someone, this is not working. At the same time I am meditating on Brahman. It is not possible. That will be difficult. So that is not possible. That's why they have given the conception of God. Some other day, sometime, when you will discuss about the Bhakti Yoga, we will discuss about God. Now it is Brahman. And it says that it is not an object. To know Brahman means to know Brahman as one's own self. To know Brahman means to know as one's own self. Now, we are all the time having that self within us. How can we understand the self? Do we really understand the self? The moment we ask, who are you? I am, we begin, but the moment we say I am, associated with this particular body, and along with this body, whatever the associated things. I am a man and belong to these and these and these and so many things. And this is called epithets, Visheshana, that we are only adding. I am this, PhD, from this institution, from this and that, it goes on. Is it the real actually I? No. What is the real I? We never care to think about it. That is the funny thing. We never care to think about who am I actually. So that is the very, very interesting, that we never try to see who am I. So that is the question. Yasya amatam tasya matam, matam yasya na vedasa. It says, he who says he does not know Brahman knows it. That means he is humble. He cannot express. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna again, he gives a wonderful, the way this explaining things, very simple way. Those who have tried to put the water inside a jar, if you take just a jar inside the water and try to pour water in it, it will go on making the sound, because water is going in, so the air is coming out, that sound is going on. When it is full, there is no sound, it's quiet. The person who has realized Brahman, he becomes just like that, very quiet, never speaks about. So long back, you know that in a corner of India, Swami Vivekananda ji Maharaj came, he was waiting there. That was the last that is the last airport of India in the eastern border. So there we were all waiting that the flight will come and he will go. He was the president of Ramakrishna Mission, and he was inquiring about, just for that knowledge, as because the plane. Who knows about the flight, how it takes flight, and how what is the mechanism? Most of the people, they do not know anything about it. They were going on giving their opinion. Oh, this is like this is like that. And one, Swamiji was there. His assistant, he was there. I don't know still he is there or not in life. He was the pilot, and he was knowing all about that the plane. He was quietly sitting. He was very humble type. And when all people gave their opinions, not knowing anything about it, and then the Swamiji turned towards him and said, "He who could say never said. He who could say never said." So that way, one person who knows everything, he becomes that way. He never says anything, quietly. So the life speaks. Here, it is also like that. Yasya amatam, yasya matam, tasya matam, matam yasya nabedasa. Yasya amatam, tasya matam. You have to understand this. One who says that I do not know, he knows. He who says he knows does not know. So this way it goes, avijñātam. Now, how one can understand that particular thing which is our innermost and the Creator? Sometimes I give the example like this. There's some great computer, and it understands everything, it calculates everything, it can give all information. Now, suppose the person who has created the computer has not fed anything about him into that computer. The computer knows everything about the world. But suppose you go and search, ask the computer, who is your creator? Will it be able to give? No, because that has not been fed in that. So like us also, whatever we have been given, we can up to that. And beyond that we cannot go. Even sometimes we go and say, I don't believe in God. There is nothing like that. Very wrong. Friends, we must be observing in our society, almost all places, the people who do not have little faith, they suffer a lot. Why, you know? They are having everything, but there is no anchor. You need an anchor where you can go and say, please, help me. That is necessary. That is the conception of God. That is religion. And because of the religion, people, otherwise just like the animals, very dangerous type of animals, because they are more intelligent than any other animals. Otherwise it is very, very dangerous, unless and until their mind is controlled. Only by law can you control a person? No. Only by security can you save yourself? No. It is only by transforming the mind. How is that? Ethical things, and that ethical things slowly become religious, and religious become spiritual. And when it becomes spiritual, what happens? I see myself in everything. How can I harm? I see all these things within me. That is the great conception. Though this moment it is very difficult to even to conceive that idea, to accept that idea. But that is the truth. And that's why we find when the Jesus dying on the cross, and he is in terrible pain, even then he is praying for those. God, please forgive those, for they do not know what they do. He is praying. How could he do that? Because he is seeing himself within that. And that is the reason, as the child is going on beating the father, father carrying the child, father never says anything because he knows innocent, he doesn't know. So that is the reason, that love, because the father's love for the child, the same father, if any other child is coming and beating, hey, whose child is this? Take care of it, otherwise I am going to take action. The same, because it is not, love is not there. For his own child, love is there. For the others, love is not there. Now, suppose you have a love and you love each and every one, and they are all conscious, they are just like me, how you can harm? So that is the ultimate way for peace. Pratibodh viditam matam, that ultimately says only you can understand, know all the levels of the consciousness. If you can understand when one attains Brahman, at all levels of one's consciousness, one attains true knowledge. Pratibodha viditam matam. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he was sitting by the side of the Ganga, the shore of Ganga, and he was watching far away inside on that river. On a boat, two persons, the boatmen, they were quarreling, and suddenly they started fighting, and one person gave a strong beating on the back of the other. Sri Ramakrishna felt it. Not only that, when afterwards people came, they saw the mark of the hand on him. He was far away. That is the feeling. When the Swami Vivekananda, he was pacing up and down in the midnight, someone got up and saw, Swamiji, any problem? Can't you get the sleep? Then he said, how could you sleep? So many millions of people are suffering. I cannot, I am feeling their pain within my heart. That is called spirituality. That is called Brahma Jnana. Not only words, but the feeling. That is association, and that is called Brahma Jnana. And then finally, it says, Upanishad Rishis urging us, the human being, because the human life is really very precious. It's not so easy to achieve. Because of the karmas, one after another, the steps after steps, we have come up to this. If you can read one of my article, Preparation for God Realization, that has been published in our EZIN, the last two issues, 9th and the 10th issue, I think. There, I have given, quoting from different scripture, how many millions of times we are traveling from the amoeba up to the human being. So many life. Now we may laugh, but that is the truth. We cannot say no, we are traveling. And after achieving this human birth, if we are not properly utilizing it, that is terrible. And it says like this, Ihached abedit ata satyamasti. In the Sanskrit it says, Ihached abedit. If you can realize this truth here and now, in this life, oh, you are blessed. If you fail to do that, mahati vinasti, then it is a great loss. We do not know in our next life whether we are going to become a human or not. Maybe will be some other thing, we do not know. God bless, we may come again as a human, but it is not to be afraid. But the truth is this, and the control is in our hand, and we can always do that by doing good work. What is that good work? Not only physical, but also in thought. Thinking also in a positive way and constantly trying to love others. So, iha ched abedit, ata satyamasti, nached iha abedit, mahati vinasti. Then it says, the Rishi of the Upanishad, Bhuteshu bhuteshu vichitra dhiraha pritya asman lokan amrita bhavanti. So it says that if you can do this, then only, but the wise person who knows the truth that Brahman is in all things and being withdraws from this world and become totally free. That is the message of this Upanishad. And in the 3rd and 4th chapter that we will discuss afterwards, maybe not in this month, I'm sorry, in the next, the Sunday, I will be in Houston. I won't be able to give this class. And that last Sunday, I'm not sure. You know that we will be having the retreat in the Ganges. When Swamiji is coming from Sacramento, he will give that retreat. I may be with him, and if I can, then I will come and give the class. but maybe, possibly, I'll be in Ganges that Sunday. So we will meet again in July, the first Sunday. That time we will discuss the third and fourth. This third, that says allegorically, even the gods who are more super than the human being, even they cannot control their mind. They also feel egoistic. As we say something and immediately we say, I have done it, I have done it. Just like the child, again, yesterday one child brought me one painting. Someone is standing, you have to somehow understand what is that painting. And I told, oh, this is great painting. Who has done? Me, I have done it. So like that, we start like that. I have done it, I have done it, I have done it. Even the gods also was telling, they had a good fight with the Asuras and they won that, and then afterwards they said, we have done it. Then someone came and told, no. So that story, through that allegorically, that truth we'll discuss in our next class, maybe in the first Sunday in July. Thank you for coming. Thank you for patiently listening to me. Please repeat after me 3 Shanti mantra. Shanti, 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 only this. When you are doing it, so try to imagine that you are protected from the atmosphere and the Prakriti, from the weather. That will protect you. No harm is going to have. Second is, all around the beings that you are living with, they will also never harm you. Third, your body, your health will also be always with you, will not give you any trouble. So Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti. 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 Hari Om. If you like to come to the retreat in the Ganges, it is a mission.